This week, as MPs jetted away for their Easter holidays, David Cameron had to interrupt his in Lanzarote to deal with the new Ukraine crisis. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage threatened legal action over a Times story about his expenses from the European Parliament. Michael Gove sparked another row by appointing an anti-terror chief to investigate claims of an Islamic plot to take over Birmingham schools. David and Samantha Cameron jetted off for a bit of sunshine in the Canary Islands, undoubtedly expecting to do some chillaxing by the pool. But the Ukraine crisis erupted again after Russian-supporting forces stormed government buildings in the eastern part of the country in an echo of what had already happened in Crimea. So the Prime Minister took time out from soaking up the sun to hold phone conversations with Germany's Angela Merkel and France's François Hollande. They all agreed they needed to consider tougher actions against Russia, and later both Cameron and Foreign Secretary William Hague dismissed suggestions the crisis was not being orchestrated by Moscow. But once again all the words appeared to fall on deaf ears, and Ukraine appeared perilously close to civil war. The UKIP leader Nigel Farage normally laughs off all the stories about his personal life and his party's antics, but not this time. He took it very seriously. The Times carried a story on its front page raising questions over the money Farage claimed from the EU in his role as a member of the Parliament. He said he'd always been entirely open about the fact he would take the £15,000 yearly allowance from the EU and use it to help fund his campaign for Britain to quit the EU. The story, he fumed, was all part of the establishment plot to nobble him and his party because it is threatening to shake up British politics in the coming Euro Parliament elections. Claims that Islamic extremists have been plotting to take over Birmingham schools have been running for some time. The Education Secretary has long been worried about them, and he's finally taken some very drastic action. An anonymous letter between alleged plotters referred to Operation Trojan Horse, and after a series of inquiries by local councils and the police, Gove upped the ante. He appointed former anti-terrorism officer Peter Clark of the Met to investigate all the evidence, citing his long experience as a good qualification for the job. Local politicians were worried that might inflame local sensitivities, and most worryingly, the Chief Constable of West Midlands Police, Chris Sims, described it as a desperately unfortunate move, because people would draw conclusions based on Clark's previous job. Gove, however, seemed determined to show he was taking the threat seriously and was in no mood to rethink. And that's it for this week. To keep up to date with all the political news from Westminster, go to our website, ibtimes.co.uk.